Okay, first question for Coach James Ham.
Hey, Luke, how are you?
Good, James. You?
Good. Hey, Marvin Bagley, we're getting reports now that he's back, cleared to do basketball stuff. Just how close is he to returning? What would be a basic plan for you with him moving forward? And just how does he fit into this puzzle down the stretch?
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do still, James, before he gets to me. Like he's clear to do basketball activities, and he's, the injury has healed. But basketball activities, what he's doing is working with coaches 1-on-0 right now. So there's still a couple of phases he's got to get to before he gets 5-on-5 contact. And that's kind of the final phase before we get him back ready to go for any sort of game type of minutes. So we're at the very beginning of that right now, as far as what he's doing with in these practices or time that game days for him right now is still, he's got a long way to go.
Is there a possibility we see him on the court this season?
Always a possibility.
Sean Cunningham.
Hey, Luke, I know given the streak you guys had, and now here you are winning the last 2 of 3. I'm just wondering, is there a common thread you've seen in these last 3 games that kind of gives you some encouragement here?
Well, I'd say offensively we've been playing pretty well, shooting the ball well, giving ourselves chances on that end. I thought the Dallas game, we did a really nice job defensively, and then not so much these last 2 games. But, common thread-wise, I'd say offensively, executing, hitting shots, moving the ball, things we want to do on that end of the floor is going pretty well for us right now.
And then, we were talking to Delon a minute ago. Obviously, you guys have a pretty tough road ahead if that playing game is still the goal, and he was talking about how it is. How much is that a positive sign for you to see that there's no let up amongst these guys when they're still in that mode of trying to compete?
Yeah, I mean, I've given the group credit all year on that, as far as them playing, playing with that mindset. And the reality is look, I like that, that's something they talk about and whatnot. But even if we are eliminated at some point, like I still expect that to be in a mindset. So it is nice, but that shouldn't be the carrot we're chasing. What we're trying to accomplish is, hey, we're building something. We're building something that we can that'll last and build consistency within our group. So whether the playoffs are right there for us or not, that mindset has to be there either way.
Jason Jones.
Hey, Luke. How you doing?
Good, Jason. I can barely hear you, though.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah. Just looking at your center position this year, you've had Richaun, you used Damian, you've had Hassan, you've had different looks there. And with the style of play you want to play, is there an ideal fit for the type of center you would like to have?
Yeah. We clearly want to be able to get up and down the court. I do think with where we've struggled with guarding the ball, rim protection is something that we're looking at. So yeah, if you could, build the perfect center for our team, he'd be 7'2", and he runs like a guard, and he blocks everything at the rim, and he's out there leading the break on offense. So that's ideally what we're looking for. And then, we're getting a little bit of that from different pieces, and we're trying to, constantly figure and see, where it gives us the best chance of trying to win. And I think, you go back to what Richaun's done since he's been here. He might not be the 7'2" part of it, but he's done a lot of those other things we're talking about, and including blocking shots. Like when we're winning games, like he's actively chasing down guards and getting blocks for us and things of that nature. So, yeah, he's done a really good job with that.
And the guys you don't have a guy like a Brook Lopez, and a guy who'll stand out there and shoot the three. Is there value in having that if you wanted to play five out?
I left that out of my ideal center spot, but yes, he would also be able to shoot threes. I mean, you saw what it did to Minnesota, right? Like I said, like I know what Minnesota's record is, but that team is good now that they're healthy. They're big, and they got those 2 big 7-footers out there. And if you go small, they post you, and if you go big, they pick and pop you. So yeah, it adds a whole nother element that you got to try to defend. And you know, it's something that is valuable in this league for sure, for spacing purposes and just creativity within the offense.
Logan Murdoch.
What up, Luke? I was just reading up on Tyrese Halliburton, and he's always talked about trying to have a control with his competitiveness and make sure that he's using it constructively. I know you play with Kobe, and that's something that kind of he had to learn during his time. How do you teach Tyrese how to control and make his competitive streak? How do you make it constructive?
Yeah. For him, I'd say don't right now. Don't try to limit it. You know what I mean? Don't try to hide it. We love how he competes. We love the energy he plays with. We love how contagious that is. And we're on him about a lot of things. We're hard on Tyrese because we believe in how good he's going to be. But when he's out there playing, we want him, you know, even if he's making mistakes, we want him looking to, you know, to let all of that hang out and just and really learn through the experience of playing. But definitely err on the side of being, for him, more of a gunslinger than trying to control it at all right now.
Do you remember with Kobe how he had to maybe figure out how to use his competitiveness constructively? And was there a time when he had to do that?
By the time I got there, he whatever process he had to go through, he had figured out. But so, I mean, I heard stories about it from some of the older vets when he came in as a young player. But by the time I was there, he had done that growing and figured that part of the process out. Now he continued to grow as an elite competitor in mastering that craft, but that was something that he was always working on, the mental side of how I can get better. And, you know, clearly he did a pretty good job of that.
A couple more for Coach today. G-Man.
Coach, how is Richaun coming along in terms of health, and will we see him on the floor anytime soon?
Yeah, we hope so. He looked good in practice today. You know, he did some threes yesterday during the game, and then I'm sorry, before the game, and then felt good yesterday and played full go today in practice and looked good. So now it's just kind of waiting to see how he feels later today and into tomorrow.
Will you have another full practice tomorrow?
No, we could, with the back-to-back coming up Sunday, Monday, tomorrow's will be more of a shoot around type of day. Come in, get shots up, go through some Golden State. We haven't played them in a long time. And, you know, at least since, you know, Steph's been on this run, and they're, you know, they're clearly playing much better now. So we'll treat tomorrow more as a shoot around than as a practice.
Thanks.
Marshall Harris.
Hey, Luke. Just going into the Golden State game, because they are the team that currently holds that 10 spot. I know there's 72 games, try to treat them all the same. But is there any sense that, you know, this one does mean more, since if you lose, you'll be, I think, 6 out with 12 to play? And how is your team, I guess, dealing with the fact that every game's seemingly becoming more important because there's so few games left?
Yeah, no, we're not. There's no reason to you know, even add more to it. Look, at this point where we put the position we're in, there every game is going to be this important. And I get what you're saying about Golden State being at the 10, but we really have to continue to lock in on us and what we need to continue to get better at. And just, you know, really play our best basketball. And you know, the outcome will be what it'll be. There's no way we're going into Golden State thinking to ourselves like, oh, this isn't that big of a, you know, of a game. You know, like we'll be ready to play. So where our mindset and where our focus will be on is those things that we need to continue to do well, what we're doing well, and where we need to continue to improve on.
I just wanted to make sure I understood. There's a chance for Sean could play in that game Sunday. And also, I'm just asking, you talk about not chasing that carrot, as it were, trying to improve yourselves. Where would you say this team is as far as defensively from the start of the season? Now, have you seen signs of improvement? I mean, the numbers bear out one thing. I just want to know your thoughts as a coach.
Yeah, there's been some improvement for sure. And there's been stretches, I think, more so than not, that have been, where we've seen that improvement. The 30th ranked defense is with how poorly we started the season was tough to come break down from. But within the season, there's been nice stretches we've put together, and really what our group needs more than anything is just reps at doing what we do, as far as, practice times and competing at our schemes and at, the way that we want to cover. And, that's unfortunately it isn't there right now. So there's been progress made for sure. And we understand we got a long way to go. But even some of the new guys we added, we feel like with more time with the group, they're gonna help on that end as well, which we've seen. You look at someone like the Harrison Mo ability to switch 3-4s and guard multiple guys. Like, that's what you need in today's NBA. So we have some of that now, and we just got to keep working on it.
Last question for Coach today, Christos Saltis.
Coach, hope you're doing well. What did you like most on those back-to-back games against the Timberwolves?
What I like most about what?
About those back-to-back games against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, well, I'd have to lean pretty heavily on what we did offensively. I thought we moved the ball well, we shared the ball well, we pushed. We pushed when the opportunities presented themselves. We shot the three, extremely well. So things that we're, continuing to look at and talk about, and which have made us, around a top 10 offense most of the season. We're doing at a pretty high levels in these last two games.
And about the rest of the season, how important is to keep pushing with the same type of effort of the last game, and especially of the fourth quarter's effort?
How do we keep playing with effort, you're saying?
How important for you is to keep pushing with the same type of effort and the same energy as well of the last game?
It's very important. Like I said, whether no matter where we're at, like that's the effort that this game deserves to be played with. We're professionals, and no matter what the situation, who's playing, who's in, who's out, the effort has to be there. And that's where kind of I expect our group to be, and I expect them to understand that, and I think they will.